My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
This is Optimal Living Daily. Get stupid quick. Advice on overthinking from a Zen master by Richard Paterson with becomingminimalist.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Happy Friday. This is the award-winning podcast where I read articles to you, hopefully adding a little bit of inspiration, motivation, or happiness to your day. And this is all with permission from the websites, by the way. I'm going to keep this intro nice and short, so let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Get stupid quick. Advice on overthinking from a Zen master by Richard Paterson with becomingminimalist.com. Quote, "A crowded mind leaves no space for a peaceful heart." Christine Evangelou. I'll never forget a wonderful piece of advice I received from a Zen meditation teacher many years ago. Get stupid quick were the profound words of wisdom he offered. He explained how the village idiot is the happiest person in town because he has the least going on between his ears. If we wish to live a simple, peace-filled life, it's necessary to free ourselves of clutter, both inner and outer. The mind certainly has its uses. It's undoubtedly helpful to remember which house you live in, how to get to work, or how to cross the road safely without getting run over. Not to mention the good we're able to bring into the world with it. On the other hand, dwelling incessantly on your problems and shortcomings, wallowing in doomsday thoughts about the future, or blowing minor issues out of all proportion, only serves to clutter your inner space and crowd out feelings of peace and calm. In this way, the mind can be a beautiful servant or a dangerous master, depending on how you use it. I've spent the last 25 years helping people with busy minds find more inner peace and happiness in their lives. Here are 9 tips to help you kick the overthinking habit. Number 1, become consciously aware. Most of our overthinking happens on autopilot. The first step to freeing yourself is to notice when you're doing it. When you catch yourself fretting about the future or agonizing over a simple decision, stop for a moment, take a breath, and gently acknowledge, okay, this is what is happening just now. Bringing your thought patterns into the light of awareness is an important first step. Number 2, drop your resistance. The more you resist and fight the mind, the more overwhelming and all-consuming it becomes. Resistance creates more ammunition for the overthinking mind. If your patterns are there anyway, it's better to work with them than struggle against them. Step back and watch them objectively with an attitude of non-judgmental acceptance. The less you resist, the more peace you will experience. Number 3, question the mind. Take everything the mind tells you with a large grain of salt. Before you become enmeshed in an apocalyptic mind movie where you get fired, lose your house, and become destitute, all because you missed a deadline at work, acknowledge that you're probably painting an overly pessimistic picture. A great question that will put an end to 90% of your overthinking is, do I know for certain that this is true? You'll find the answer is almost always no, and you won't overthink what you know to be untrue. Number 4, keep things in perspective. What kind of things upset you and trigger overthinking? Being stuck in traffic, being treated unfairly, not getting your way about something? Consider how important these things are in the bigger picture. Is it the end of the world if somebody said something mean about you? Is it really worth sacrificing today's peace over it? Ask yourself, Will this matter 5 years from now or even 5 days from now? Number 5, make time-limited decisions. Being indecisive by nature, decision-making has always been an area where I can easily get sucked into overthinking. When you take too long to make a decision, you can think yourself into a state of analysis paralysis. I now have some simple rules I try to follow. For small decisions, such as where to go for dinner or which movie to watch, I give myself 30 seconds or less to decide. For bigger decisions, the time limit is 1 hour. The trick is to then stick with what you decide. Number 6, focus on the present moment. A quick and simple way to stop overthinking in its tracks is to gently shift your attention to the here and now. Engage the senses. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Notice the warmth in the palms of your hands. Feel the sensation of your feet touching the floor. What sounds can you hear around you right now? What happens to your thinking mind when your attention is fully present in the moment? Number 7, show the mind who's boss. Overthinking is a bit like binging on Netflix. You find yourself unconsciously gravitating over and over to the same old channels, the worry channel, the self-doubt channel, or the wanting to control everything channel. But the truth is, you're the one holding the remote control. If you decide right now to hit the stop thinking button, the mind has to comply. The next time you catch yourself mid-episode in a replay of the 101 ways that my life sucks, tell the mind, enough, we're going to change the topic now. You're the one in charge. Number 8, consciously distract yourself. When you catch yourself overthinking, it's a good idea to get up and move. Go for a walk or a run. Do some yoga. Moving will not only shift your mindset, but also help release any pent-up tension and emotion caused by overthinking. Lose yourself in a project. Learn to play guitar, learn a language, or best of all, learn to meditate. This will give you the skills you need to kick your overthinking habit for good. And number 9, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a wonderful tool to help you stop overthinking and create a more harmonious relationship with the mind and with yourself. It teaches us to embrace our thoughts, positive and negative, with an attitude of non-judgmental acceptance and to develop an intimate relationship with the present moment where the natural state of peace is to be found. Quote, it's a little known fact that thinking is entirely overrated. The world would be a much better place if we all did a lot less of it. Lori Vieira Rigler. You just listened to the post titled, Get Stupid Quick, Advice on Overthinking from a Zen Master by Richard Paterson with becomingminimalist.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Thank you to Richard, a guest writer on Becoming Minimalist. But the name might sound familiar because I narrate from his blog too. That's thinklessandgrowrich.com. And I thought that was a good point about the village idiot being the happiest person. My mind definitely goes into overdrive a lot, even with this podcast. Am I saying the right things? Is this what you want to hear? What can I do better? How can this reach more people? I feel like my mind is always going and it can be exhausting. And of course, I don't think the answer is literally being stupid, but figuring out ways to let go of a lot of mental clutter. Just like we try to keep our physical spaces minimal and less cluttered, I think our brains crave the same thing. And like you said, perspective is everything. I can get really worked up about being late to an appointment, for example. It's rare that it happens, but it can, and in that case, is it worth stressing about or having it ruin my entire day? Will it matter a year from now? Probably not even a week from now. So good stuff to think about this weekend, or not think about, if you know what I mean. Thank you for being here with me every day and for telling others about this show. That's the greatest thing you can do to help out. It means a lot. So thank you again, and I'll be back tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.